Good morning, a warm welcome to Issues at Hand this morning. We thank you so much for being a part of our show today, and we always find it a pleasure when you join us for our show today. Now, we have our social media platforms at Church of Uganda Family TV on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and YouTube, where we post these subsequent videos, and you can go and watch them. As usual, we are here to discuss some of the current affairs that affect us as a community in Uganda, in Kampala mostly, where we are, and of course around the world. One of those is security, and it is on the core or at the core of each and everyone's life. And of course we need to be very, very safe, especially when it comes to protecting our lives from any danger, especially if these dangers can be avoided. For example, the dangers on the road. How exactly are we supposed to behave when it comes to being on the road? There are different groups of people that use the roads. We have pedestrians, we have motorists, motorcyclists, people in vehicles, also those on bicycles. Everybody, each and every one of those people is liable to learning how to use roads correctly. And today it is going to be our topic today, but we are going to focus more on, of course, the school-going children. Now that they're back to school, what are the safety measures that are supposed to be taken when it comes to protecting them on the roads? Some of these people cross the roads alone. Some of these students do not have teachers or parents accompanying them in the mornings, and it is very, very difficult for a child, especially those of the young ages, to cross alone. In Kampala Metropolitan, we do have some schools that are in the city center, and those schools are right next to where traffic happens a lot, and you can never know what can happen to these school-going children. And so we have our guest, Afande Micheal Kananula, to help us discuss these matters. He is the Superintendent of Police and PR of Traffic Police. You're very welcome this morning.
Thank you so much. Good morning to our viewers. My name is Superintendent of Police Micheal Kananula, and I work as the liaisons officer for the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety, but I also double as the spokesperson for the Directorate. I'm happy and glad to be here to discuss this important topic of safety precautions that we all need to take as our children get to school and come back in the evening. Thank you.
Okay, let's start with the traffic mandate. Of course, traffic has a mandate to protect people on the roads, but also to guide them on how to behave when it comes to the road. How far with that as traffic police? Are there any big challenges being faced, or are people complying to your rules and regulations?
Yeah, thank you so much once again. Of course, as traffic police, we are really doing our best. You could all have been seeing whenever you are getting to your workplaces or even leaving, we have at least always met those traffic officers on roads, junctions, trying to regulate traffic, blowing whistles here and there from morning to late in the night until when we are roads clear. So really, as traffic police being on the forefront of enforcement and also regulating traffic in the busy places, I think really we are doing our work, and we are doing it very well. We are not only doing the enforcement and regulating, but we are also going ahead, Carol, to sensitize road users, because we have found out that most of these issues, they come from the behaviors of the drivers on these roads. Actually, I may term it as indiscipline, the indiscipline of some of the drivers. For example, when you look at the jam, that what could be causing maybe the jam, sometimes it could not be necessarily because there are many vehicles, but some few people want to drive in wrong ways, in one ways, then broke some junctions, and then vehicles fail to move. So whenever we are on ground, we are trying to regulate and direct and give whatever instructions to those vehicles to make sure that really that traffic starts flowing. So that one, we are doing it. We are also doing the sensitization to make sure that at least everyone gets to understand what they are supposed to do. So the challenges maybe that could be there is that, of course, we are not enough, and we cannot be everywhere. That's what people must know. So we are putting much emphasis on what we may call self-regulation, where people really must know that this is what must be done for the safety of our roads, for our own safety, and for the safety of our children and other pedestrians using these roads. So we must all understand and know what we must do as drivers. So as a good driver, what must I do to ensure that I don't cause jam and I don't cause an accident? So there are those things that really you must know and that you must do, that even where Kananula is not, you must do that thing. And then really we have safety of our roads. We really all enjoy our roads because no one wants to perish in these crashes. There's nothing bad when you get news of your person dying in a road crash. It is very, very unfortunate, and so much more absurd when now it comes to our children, these school-going children. Because you see, these children now, they are the future. They are our future. Our hopes are in our children. Our tomorrow is in our children, really. The ministers tomorrow, the MPs tomorrow, the traffic officers tomorrow, they are the children. So when really they die in these road crashes, it is really a pity. And these are things that we can always avoid if we all really take heart to do what we are supposed to do. I am telling you, we shall have sanity on our roads. So we must not wait for traffic. We must not wait for Kananula to stop you, to ask you whether you have a permit, to ask you why you are carrying 3 or 4 children on a motorcycle, but you must know. And then we are also saying that let it be everyone's responsibility.
Yeah.
Let it be everyone's responsibility. If there are children we are talking about, what is the role of a parent? What is the role of a guardian? What is the role of this caretaker? You as a teacher, a head teacher of this school receiving this child, what is your role? What are you doing to ensure that our children are safe on the roads? Have you done anything? Or for you only mind on teaching, and once your work of teaching is done, that is all? Then if you are a parent, you only mind at feeding your child and doing all that. Then when it comes to the roads and all that, you don't care. So let's not sit Ugandans and wait for bad news. That, the motorcycle you have given your 5 children to take, they have all crashed into a road accident. It's very terrible and it's very bad. Let's not really wait to learn from bad experiences that we may not, this one can happen. I wish I knew. No. When we come here, actually, I thank you, Family TV, that you have always really brought us here to speak to Ugandans. And when we are here talking, really, don't take these things for granted, please. Pick them and start from there. When I am here speaking, I am speaking from experience. I'm speaking from what I have seen and what I know. These things are real. Sometimes we give these statistics, and then people start saying, you hear motorcyclists start saying, police, do you want us out of Kampala? Where do you want us to go? And just simply because I have told them that out of all the accidents that we get in every day or in every year, that borders have always contributed 65% of those road crashes. So they feel like I'm becoming their enemy when I'm here really speaking the facts, and I'm speaking the facts that people may pick from there and learn and know what to do. When I, for example, say that we lose 2 students on average per day, it is real. Children, school children, it is real. It is real. So I want really that people pick from here, and then you know where to start from, and you know what you can prevent, and you know what is your role.
Okay. So 2 students are quite many when it comes to a daily statistics. Now, it means that over 10 students are lost every week. And my question would be, what is the role of a parent and a teacher? Because we have Afande Kananula, these schools around Kampala City, Lohana Academy, Old Kampala, students cross alone. The teachers don't even care to say, let's push them and make sure that they've crossed safely the roads. And what is the role, what should be the role of a parent as they bring the child to school, or as they send them to school alone? What would be the role of the parent in avoiding such accidents, such unfortunate incidents?
Okay, thank you, Carol. Now, if I get to the role of the parents, the guardians, and the teachers, Like, like what I like, how I started. I said that as traffic officers, we are enforcers of law. We come to the roads to ensure that there is sanity on these roads. But our work alone is not enough, and it cannot do anything much. Now, the role of the parents, the teachers, the guardians, yes, it is also something they are contributing, but it is also not enough. So them alone, and us, we are not doing our work. For them, they are trying to do their work. We shall not achieve much. Now, here we are looking at the traffic officers. At least I've explained what the traffic officers can do and what they are doing, which we are really all seeing. We really have to give a credit where it is due. I'm not saying this because I'm a traffic officer. Carol, you could have seen. I know some of these traffic officers, what they do. You may not manage to do. You are given a whistle. You stand in the crossroads and you start really waving of vehicles, you are directing, even if it is 1 hour, you can do it. It is so hectic. But all for us, we look at these officers, they are corrupt, they are what? No. Let us stop blame game. What are we supposed to do? You asked a good question. Now, parents, do you think you have a role to play in this? Absolutely. But I wanted, before I get to the teachers, to the parents, I want to first and foremost talk about the drivers themselves. I know you were coming to that, but I want people to first of all know, because we have very many people having motorcycles on these roads. We have very many people having vehicles and motorcycles on these roads, using these roads. Now, for us, what must we do? Because as whenever schools open, you realize that there is heavy jam in the morning hours, early morning hours, as parents take their children to school, and even in the evening hours as they pick them from schools. So we see heavy traffic on roads, many vehicles, many motorcycles, and many pedestrians, because some students, some children, school-going children, they use foot on these roads. Then the motorcycles, they are also used to pick and take these children to school. Same, the vehicles also now driven by the parents themselves, they also drop and pick at these. So what does that mean? That roads are congested everywhere. Now, when roads, of course, get congested everywhere, it means a lot. We witness also accidents. Witness accidents of vehicle to vehicle, motorcycle to motorcycle, motorcycle to vehicle, vehicle to pedestrian, and all that. Now, among the pedestrians we are talking about, there could also be parents, and those children. Children, of course, they are also their parents. Everyone is there. So, if now you are a driver, and then you are driving carelessly on the road, it means that you are likely to knock a pedestrian. Actually, we lose, in every week, I think we lose an average of 25 pedestrians. There are many. So it means that every time you get to the road, dear viewers, and then you are driving, and you are driving carelessly, you don't mind about the rules of the road, you are likely to cause injury or death to a pedestrian. And this pedestrian, we are saying, is likely to be a student. A nursery people, a primary or a secondary school, or even a university. Now, so if you don't mind about your behaviors or on how you use these roads, that is what is likely to happen. So what must we do? We have here stickers. It is clear here, it shows that drive as if every child on the road were your own. We all, of course, have children, Carol. I just want you to imagine that if you're driving carelessly or badly to this student you do not know, you also just imagine that the same way you are doing it to this person that you don't know, they are also doing it to yours. Yeah. When you go ahead to knock this child, the same way you was is also knocked. So I just want us really to imagine, we all have children and we know what it means or what it takes to have a child. So you have that passionate for them. You have that love for them. So drive in that manner that really don't cause any accident to them. So drive carefully, drive very well. Then now, also the motorcycles, we have also seen motorcycles, Carol. They come to our homes, and what do? We give them 5 children.
Yeah, overloaded.
They park them in front on the tank of the motorcycle. They park them behind. And then you find them doing what? Riding. So these children on the motorcycle, none of them, first of all, has a helmet. Even the border person you are using does not have a permit, no insurance, nothing at all. Even the motorcycle is just there, very old. So you are risking, now as a parent, you are risking the lives of your children. I just want you to know that accidents are real. These children that we are putting on these motorcycles, they are 5 years, 6, 4, and all that. Now what does that mean? That when a motorcycle hits a hump, they fall off. We have registered those accidents. So don't wait for this scenario to get you home. So they hit a hump and they jump off and they fall off. When they fall, of course, they don't survive. They die because none of them, first of all, has a helmet in the head. And then, of course, talks of that every motorcycle, when you carry a child of less than 12 years, they must be supported by someone who is old. They sit behind them and they get hold of them so that they are safe. So a child below 12 and another person elder, the law does not catch up with you. But 3, 4, 5, you are risking. And who is putting these children? It's not that Boda has picked them from the road. No. It is a parent who has prepared them early in the morning at 6. The motorcycle comes 6:30, and he even helps him to pack them. So you are packing them really for other bad things, bad news, please. So let us be mindful of what we are doing. So as parents, that is what we must understand and know, that when we are doing all of this, really, we are placing our children into danger, thinking that we are helping them. We are not helping them in any way. So what must we do? We first of all foremost must get helmets for these children, helmets for them. There are small helmets for children. We buy them, we mark them, they put on them. When they get to schools, they are kept very well. When they are coming back, they are also given to them and they go with them. And then they must also not the only ones who walk. You find a child of 7, 4, 5. There are 2 young ones, 3. They are struggling to cross the road. Yes, much as of course I've talked about the drivers, what they must do, that when they get to these children, let them really have that love for them. They must stop and then they enable them to cross the road, even where there is no zebra crossing. Let them enable them cross the roads. But you also a parent who is there watching and listening. Really, this is your child. You labored to conceive them and give birth to them and take good care of them. But all you do, you just leave them to me to make concern. You pack for them everything. You go out of the gate. As long as you see them out of the gate, none of your business, nothing else really. You don't care about any other thing. So our roads are very congested. Our motorcycles are very many. Much as the vehicle may really have love for them and stop, then a running motorcycle will also come from behind there and it knocks them, which is very terrible. So what are we saying? As a parent, please escort your children. Enable them to cross some of these roads. Take them where they are supposed to go, where they are not on motorcycles and in vehicles, where they must move on roads as pedestrians. Let them be helped. These are our children. Let us not abandon them. Let us not leave them. Others will tell you we are letting them to learn, to know how to cross the roads. No, if you are to let them learn, please first assist them. Then later when they are used, you can leave them. But please make sure you assist them and enable them to get to their destinations with your help, with your assistance. And then when they are also now crossing these roads, let them not run and let them try as much as they can to get zebra crossings where they can, and that where they are crossing, walk majestically. This one now also goes to other pedestrians. We have seen people when they are crossing roads, they are running. So when you are running, the vehicle may also now miscalculate and it runs into you. Yeah. Exactly. So walk majestically, and then this person knows that you are crossing the road, and then they know where to pass. And then before you cross, of course, you are supposed to first check right and see whether there's any vehicle coming. If it's not coming, check left. If it's not there, check right again. If right is clear, please, you can close. So parents, that is what they must do. And the parents, of course, now I also talked about the caretakers, and caretakers, of course, and guardians are like parents, but also teachers. What must teachers also do? We have these schools which are built along the roads, on highways actually. Now, we must first of all have people who must help these children to cross. Whenever they are dropped across the road, we have this person who has a flag, a red flag, and they raise it. Then every vehicle, every motorcycle, they stop, and then we enable these children to cross. So the teachers, the head teachers must also put those arrangements. It's good, of course. I thank all those that have gone ahead to do this. It helps us. You see, we cannot leave these children really. A child can never decide for they are just there. They don't understand most of these things. Yeah. They will just cross anyhow, and then you hear that they have been knocked. So let us enable them. Whether we are teachers, let us enable them to see more especially how they can cross these roads and how they can also move on these roads. Exactly.
Okay, thank you so much. And these things are happening in our society, and I want to understand from the police's point of view, is there any punishment worthy of the people the motorcyclists who overload these children? Because once you punish one, maybe the others will see from them as an example, and then they will not repeat it. So are there any guidelines or any punishments given to such offenders so that others can learn from them?
Of course, they are also treated like any other motorcyclist who breaks the traffic rules and regulations. Of course, when you carry more than one person, that is pillion riding, and they are charged. If we give a receipt, that is 100,000. But what now? The challenges where that we find in most cases, whenever we are for these operations on motorcycles, Carol, it is a battle. It is like we are in the. It is a war, because those who know that they don't have most of these requirements, they are taking off like nothing. You could have heard where someone some time back was trying to overturn, making a U-turn, and then he rammed into a vehicle just here. And he was knocked. And then every time, of course, I've also always told the people that when you get to the stage and you have to take a motorcycle, you are risking when you take that person who does not have most of the requirements, because with the moment they learn that there is traffic ahead or operations, they don't care who they are carrying. They don't care who is following them. They just make a U-turn, and you hear they have been knocked. So what am I trying to say? Because when they are also breaking these laws, as they take these children, they are also punished like any other. But now I just want you to imagine that this person has 3 or 4 children. He comes to learn that traffic is ahead, because of course for us we cannot stop. We are not going to stop from doing these operations. We must go ahead to carry these operations. And what is our target of carrying out these operations? We are carrying out these operations to make sure that we reduce the number of fatalities in road crashes, to make sure that we reduce road crashes that are happening in our country. So that is why we must continue making these operations, because these operations are for a purpose, and that purpose is for your own benefit or for your own good. Now, this motorcycle which comes and it is carrying 3, 4, I just want you to imagine what will happen now. They will come, they know their operations, and I also don't think that the traffic will, all of them are now go and hide themselves because the border is coming with the students. They will not. They will continue with their work. I'm not saying that they will harass them, but for them it will continue. But now when this man sees them, on seeing them, immediately what comes into his mind, I'm going to be arrested. So I want you to see now how they are going to throw your children on the road. So what am I saying? As parents, because like I said, Carol, these children, they're not picked from the road. No, they are picked from someone's home with the help of the parent who is putting them on, loading them actually on the motorcycle. So I want you also to have in mind that as you load these children, they are likely to meet an operation. And I want you to know what is happening. So what must we do? We must also now help police to do some of these, to follow some of these rules and regulations before police comes in.
Yeah.
Exactly. Know how many people is a motorcycle supposed to carry, and the children are also supposed to have helmets for their own good. So if a motorcycle does not have helmet, does not have a reflector, please, you are risking to give them your children. Go ahead to know whether they have permits, because it is someone who has a permit that you are sure that this person knows how to use this machine on the road. Go ahead to know whether that motorcycle has insurance, because insurance will help even to treat your child in case of an accident. So it is really your mandate. It is your mandate. It is your role. It is your responsibility as a parent. It is not something that you leave to the traffic officers, because when you see, many people have not understood road safety. I wish everyone here can understand road safety. Road safety, we get to these roads, whenever you cite a traffic officer, we are on roads to ensure that you people are safe.
Yeah.
When you cite me on the road, what comes into your mind immediately? Oh, this police officer is here so that I am safe. It is like you would be in your home sleeping, and then you see soldiers or army, the police, surrounding your home. I don't think that you would fear. You'd be confident. You'd be confident that now no thief can come into my home because I see police officers in my compound, so I am safe. You'll sleep comfortably because you know that no one will attack you. So in the same way, when you're on these roads as passengers, as pedestrians, as drivers, let us, as riders, let us know that traffic has come here to see that I am safe. I am safe that I'm able to leave my home in the morning. I get to the work in the evening, work in the morning, work, and in the evening I go back home. When I'm alive, when I'm alive, you have seen these operations of ours, the Fika Salama Extra. Fika Salama, that simple translation, it means that arrive safely. Exactly. Because we have really homes to take care of, we have children, we have dependents to take care of. When we go to town, we work, and then we go back home with bread, we go back home with milk and all that. We are able to feed our families. So I want you to imagine a situation where you have gone, but then you don't come back. Either you are dead because of a road crash, or you are disabled. You are taken to the hospital for 6 months, and you can no longer earn income to your family. It is very, very, very absurd. If really people can have that sink into their minds, we shall all come together and join hands to make sure that there is sanity on our roads. Not this situation of blaming game. You look at a traffic officer, or you start thinking, these are corrupt people. They are here to get money. Whenever we see police officers, Carol, these are real things. I don't know where people get this information from people. Towards as children go back to school. Of course, we also do that heavy deployment. We deploy everywhere to make sure that drivers don't carry excess.
Yeah.
These people who carry interference to safe driving. Someone has 6 people in front of the vehicle. Where will even find it is very bad. Now, we also do heavy deployments as police to make sure that everyone is safe. Parents are safe and children are safe. Now, you hear some people comment and say, now these police, they are looking for school fees of their children. We have had such a comments here. So that one tells you that people have not understood road safety.
Yeah.
People have not understood that roads are killing people. And not because of any other thing, but because of their behaviors. So most of the causes, as we have discussed always, and as we have also seen yourself, it is human error. It is out of our actions as drivers that we are perishing. Like I said earlier, we cannot deploy in every point and in every corner. You can imagine a stretch of a highway of 200 kilometers. We can't have on every point a traffic officer.
No.
There are those points where you not meet traffic officers. What is your behavior? Are you this kind of a person who, when approaching the roadblock, you are very smart, you are very good, your behaviors are very good, You even greet, wave at them. You want them to see you, how you are really obedient. As soon as you are aware they are not seeing you, you start now driving 160, 170 kilometers per hour. You are driving to death. You are driving to death if you are still speeding because you are not seeing traffic officers. So, when it comes to speak really about road safety, sometimes I feel like bleeding in my heart because people have not understood this.
I know.
If people can understand this, I'm telling you, Carol, we shall have sanity. But when you bring these topics, people will start discussions. How about the potholes? How about corruption? How about this? Yes, I don't deny some of those things.
But corruption will not kill them.
Yes,
the statistics of accidents are too high.
Even the potholes, by the way, potholes will not cause accidents. Actually, you find that people are very well behaved in those potholes.
Of course.
Because they are mindful of their vehicles. They don't want their vehicles to break down. Then when they get there, they stop gently. You will even find some of these streets, they also wise. They normally also try to close in those potholes because they know no vehicle will speed in potholes. And they are mindful of just their vehicles. They don't want their vehicles to get spoiled in those potholes. Let them get to these smooth roads. So when someone starts calling, you see, because of these potholes, that's why accidents are there. No way. No way. We come here with facts on what are the causes of accidents.
And
Improper
overspeeding
speeding. Speeding is number one. Speeding is number one. Where are you running to? And I want to tell you that people who have had bad experiences in speed, they have learned lessons and they never. Me, I've interacted with people who tell me, I used to speed. One time I rammed into a vehicle. From then, I can't go beyond 100 kilometers per hour. I want to tell you, whenever you hear this vehicle, that the vehicle has been broken down, then someone comes and rams into it, and yes, the vehicle is not supposed to be in the road, but you're also not supposed to knock it. Now, what if you're driving and find a cow sleeping in the road, or an elephant sleeping in the road? Does it mean that you knock it? So all that shows you how someone on the road was minding his own business. Distracted driving is also number one, causing accidents in the roads. Someone is driving but is on WhatsApp. This is WhatsApping. Someone is driving, is making calls. Someone is driving, is eating. Someone is driving, is doing a lot of things. So you cannot, driving is one thing that needs your whole concentration. Every part of your body must concentrate, especially much more so your mind. 100% concentration. Even to the extent that when someone calls you and gives you bad news, you're likely to crash. Exactly. So let us understand these things. That it all begins with you. That it all begins with me as a road user. And then that we also know that as we are driving, we have people who are on these roads and who are vulnerable. The vulnerable groups, we all know children are man. A child will never decide. A child will never know. So actually you find in most cases that most of these cases involving children, there's no one who will come and say the child has been careless to cross. No way. It must have been you, the driver. Because this is a child. It is a child. If maybe by mistake, he may be praying and then he goes to the road, does it mean that you knock? But I'm also not saying that children, most of them, as they are also going home on these highways, they want to play. They have balls, they want to play. You don't let us not play from the roads, because these are roads with vehicles, speeding vehicles. Exactly. But I'm trying to say that drivers must be very careful and extra careful when they get to the steering to drive. Full concentration.
Thank you, Afande Kananula. The information is chilling. You can imagine leaving home and you are very sure of your return, but at the end of the day, you ram into a vehicle because you're overspeeding and you cannot wait to get to where you're going, and you lose your life just like that. And the facts are there. Police every Monday releases reports of people who are dead because of these accidents, and the people are many. Imagine tomorrow it is you because you are overspeeding to somewhere, because of course people take advantage of these things and say, since I didn't knock today, I'll also overspeed tomorrow and the next day and the next day, and they'll take chances like that, which is not very, very good. And of course, like we've heard from Afande Kananula, let's be very, very careful, road users. Let's be careful, parents, and make sure that our children are safe on the roads. When a child is at home, tell them about the cars, tell them that they could lose their lives. continue to tell them to be very careful on the roads, or get someone to accompany them to school and back. Also for the teachers to just be very mindful of when the students are getting out of the school gate to how they've crossed the roads onto their way home. But let's take a very, very short break and be right back with more about safety, road safety and precautions on children, and safety for all, especially pedestrians, motorists, motorcyclists, and people who drive vehicles. My name is Caro, and you are watching Issues at Hand. We are powered by Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. We'll be back. Comfort and luxury at its best, it is Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe, located in the heart of Entebbe. You can always call them and make appointments for different things, like they have a health club with a gym, sauna and steam bath. They also have different cuisines and continental dishes that you can try out, but also accommodation in case you want to sleep in with your friends and family. My name is Caro. Welcome back to Issues at Hand. We are still with the Superintendent of Police, Micheal Kananula, and he's taking us through traffic and how exactly we shall be safe on our roads. This is for everybody because we are all road users. It doesn't matter where you're going and how you are going there. It is that you are a road user, so you must listen to the discussion and pick out a thing or two that will help you be safe on the roads. I'd like to start with a question. Now, Afande Kananura, we have zebra crossings around the city, even around the country. But let's focus on around the city. These zebra crossings have rules and regulations to be followed, which we believe that drivers know because they went to driving school and they were taught what zebra crossings are. But we are seeing cases, scenarios where road users are not respecting zebra crossings. They want to come and even hoot at you, yet you're on a zebra crossing, and they hoot at you and they want you to hurry up. What is the respect of zebra crossings? How are we supposed to act as drivers on zebra crossings and also as pedestrians who are using these zebra crossings? I think let's first deal with drivers. How are they supposed to act?
Thank you. You have first of all said it all. First of all, zebra crossings, these are markings on the roads which are put to enable pedestrians cross from one side of the road to another side of the road. I actually, first of all, encourage all pedestrians, whenever you are using these roads, try to locate where a zebra crossing is and cross from there. Much as, of course, some of them are faded, but we are trying to agitate that they repaint them so that they are seen. And two, these zebra crossings, they are also supposed to have, they also have the signposts to indicate there is a pedestrian, the pedestrian crossing ahead on the zebra crossing. So they are there, but people also now, drivers, some of them don't know to interpret these things. So when you, after knowing that there is a zebra crossing here, and you know, if you have always, as the road user, if you have always used that road, you know whether it is faded or whether the signpost is there or not, at least you have always known that there is a zebra crossing here. So in your mind, you must know as a driver that on zebra crossing, we expect people to be crossing the roads. So whenever you approach, please stop. Actually, on top of the having the signpost to indicate a zebra crossing, on the roads, the newly constructed roads, we also have road markings that also indicate that you are approaching a zebra crossing, where we see lines of zigzag lines in the middle of the road. They are indicating, they are showing you, please ahead, there is a zebra crossing. So as you approach, reduce your speed. So before you don't actually stop on the zebra crossing, but you stop slightly before on the zebra crossing, and you enable pedestrians cross. They cross successfully, and after they are done, then you are supposed to. So you must not, of course, hoot on the zebra crossing. Actually, this one, I must say it, you all know it, those who drive. Hooting is a very, one of the worst things that you really can do as it is a impatience. You are showing that you are impatient you are rude. Whenever you hoot, it says it all. The horn of the motorcycle, the vehicle, says it all. You are not patient. For you cannot wait for a minute for someone to cross. You cannot really be patient for someone for something to first take place. Then after you cross, that's why you always hoot. And as you are hooting, that horn is speaking your mind. In your mind, you have a lot of things. Who is this one? And yet you are even not. We are not supposed to be angry when we are driving. Those are some of the rules on the roads. The moment you get angry, you are likely to cause an accident. Because when you get angry within you, the way you would get angry and box someone is the same way you get angry and knock with your vehicle. I think that is even why some of the people put the guards. So they feel like this man, but the border is ready. Let me show him. So someone pushes you with a guard. So when they get angry, when you are hooting, you are showing anger in your mind. A lot of impatience, you cannot be patient, you cannot wait anymore. Then you of course, you are talking a lot of things. This person, who is he? Why can't he get off? And I pass and I go. I'm rushing somewhere, and person is laying me. And you hoot. And some of them, you have heard some people say, okay, you jump. Some people say, you jump. You are behind them, you are hooting. And of course, nothing can happen. You are hooting, first of all, you don't know what is ahead there. Maybe there's something, there's a problem, but you are hooting. And then someone says, okay, you jump. And of course, you can't jump because it's not an airplane. Now, so we must really show the highest the patience. Really, we must have that patience when it comes to zebra crossing. Well, knowing that our people are crossing, the elder, the old women, the old men, our fathers, our mothers, our children, the pregnant mothers, they are crossing. Please take your time, let them cross. Then after you move. Yeah. So that is how really motorists must behave on zebra crossing. Now, when it also comes to us, the pedestrians who are walking on those zebra crossing, what must we do? Number one, I have seen pedestrians who get to the zebra crossing in the middle, they stop and they start tying shoelaces. That is not allowed. Sir, madam, that is not allowed. Zebra crossings are not for you to tie shoelaces and brush your shoes because you have got an opportunity to use zebra crossing. You know that it is just a chance for you to cross, and just cross, don't do any other thing. I've seen people who meet each other. Carol, I meet you, then now we start shaking and we start greeting in the middle of the zebra crossing. No, the other people also want to use. So you consider you also be considerate of other road users. The roads are not for you. They are for all of us. So don't own them by, first of all, wanting to stand there and then you do your own businesses. People are doing them because they're on zebra crossing. I also forget that motorists must not park on zebra crossing. We have seen where people park. They get, whether it's inside of the road, then they park. It is also an offense. In the same way, pedestrians, please, if you have to cross and don't run. Because now it is your opportunity. Now you have the powers. It is within you, whatever means, please. It is you now, no one else, to use the zebra crossing. So don't run, don't panic, walk majestically, slowly, and cross. But also, before you start using that zebra crossing, like we have said, there are these motorcycles which may not know that there is a zebra crossing. So be mindful of them. It's like we can say that this line, it means you overtake. But they also can say you overtake if it is safe for you to do so. Don't say, since the sign talks of overtaking, I must overtake. Even when there's an oncoming vehicle, you'll be knocked. So even when you're crossing the zebra, you're using a zebra crossing, don't close your eyes and just cross. We have always been told that whenever you are on the road driving, take every driver to be ignorant. You drive as if other people don't know how to drive. That is how you'll be a very good driver. But for if you drive and think, maybe this one also knows what to do. Maybe this one also knows what to do. Me, I've indicated and I have a right of way. Let me go. These are crossroads and this is the right of way. I have the right. I'm on a highway. Much as they are crossroads, I'm on a highway, so it is me to move. Let me move. My friend, someone will come from there and bump into you. So we must also take those precautions. We must also be cautious of some of those things that may come up. So a pedestrian, you must first of all face your right hand side, because it is your right hand side where vehicles are close to you. and then they are passing. Am I safe? Are they coming? Yeah, if they are coming, what are their behaviors? Are they speeding? If they are speeding, let me not risk my life. Though that person can be charged of careless driving because he's not giving respect to a pedestrian. However, there are no police officers also to see them. So don't risk your life because a police officer has told you that you have a right to do what? To cross a zebra crossing. So check right. If there are no vehicles coming, check left. Because left, they are the other side now. They are the other side. If there are no cars, check right again. If it is safe for you, please get to your zebra crossing and move majestically. Don't run until you get to the other side of the road, then you are safe. Okay. Then also motorists, you see most of them, those who know what to do, they reach there and stop. They stop, especially when they see someone is stranded there. And much more so when we find students. We should give much respect to these students. You know, these children, if there are people I respect, Carol, it is young children. I remember at one time or one point where I was, I know up to now everyone how they treated me. Those who treated me badly, I still know them. Yeah. Those who treated me well, I still know them. There are those who still, of course, come for my help. I help. I know. I think you are getting what I'm trying to tell you. So every time I meet that young child, I know this is a minister. You heard of our traffic officer who was rewarded by, after they built for him a house, because he used to help children cross roads, and that most of those children are now MPs in Parliament. Wow. Yes. And everyone was really appreciating this lady because she was not tired of doing that. Every time she sees a child, she stops whatever she's doing, she runs, she stops vehicles, she helps them to cross. And that around 5 or 6 of them are in Parliament, they are members of Parliament, are ministers, are generals in the army. So every time you help a child, I think you are helping God.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Afande Kananula. Lastly, maybe let's talk about Fika Salama. The expectations from police or for this operation, is it what is happening now? Is police getting the grip of what they wanted Fika Salama to be, or are there some struggles still? And how far with the operation? Are you still going on with it, or have you stopped?
No, we have not stopped because Fika Salama is running up to next year in January. Only that, of course, we are still very active on the Entebbe Expressway, and very soon we are spreading to other parts of the country. Basically, of course, Fika Salama, we are on much on drink driving. As I speak, for a time we started operations of drink driving. We have so far taken 417 people within KMP to courts of law, and that when we also get them, we fingerprint them because we are trying to show the world that the behaviors of this person who drinks and drives is not good at all. The character is not good at all. So we go ahead and fingerprint them, and then we give them receipts of 200,000. So that one, it is done every time, every now and then. Then we also, of course, continue with the speed, the operations for speed on expressway. Like we have already said, we have now technology of cameras. Those who have been thinking maybe it has to be a physical police officer to see me, forget. There are cameras. There are cameras somewhere that are capturing that information on the speed you're driving at and the number plate. Then for us, we get you, and then you are punished. So we have also, I think, penalized the number of them also in 400 just on expressway. And I want to tell you that there is sanity on that expressway. Exactly. There is sanity, but we are also not doing the enforcement bit of it, but we are also doing sensitization. And I'm happy, I'm glad that, Carol, most people now have understood the speed limit that we are all supposed to drive at. And I was shocked that you could even meet a professor who did not know that you must not exceed 100 kilometers per hour. However powerful vehicle you may be driving, but it is dangerous for you to drive at a speed that is beyond 100 kilometers per hour. So many people used to think that our expressway was well designed for people to speed beyond that speed limit. But as we had started doing this, and also the sensitizations, I am telling you, there is sanity, and now people really are very disciplined. They are all driving below 100 kilometers per hour, except a few who cannot learn through teaching, and those ones we're also going ahead to work on them. Yes, we are going ahead to work on them, we impound them, we give them an express penalty scheme, and really there is something that Fika Salama is doing. And there is yet more much that is coming. Okay. So we hope by the time we get to Christmas days, we shall really be good to go.
All right. Thank you so much for a beautiful show and the information that you have, of course, let our viewers to receive today. And we will always have Afande Kananula back. But for today, this is the end of the show. I hope that you have picked a thing or two about road safety and how exactly you are supposed to behave in case you are on the road as a pedestrian, but also as a road user, a motorcyclist, a vehicleist, and those people of bicycles as well. Everyone on the road must adhere to the rules and regulations of traffic so that we can have a better Uganda, a better community, a better Kampala, and we can safely safeguard our lives from accidents that happen. We are powered by Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe, comfort and luxury at its best. My name is Carol. We'll see you next week. We are always glad to have you. Bye-bye.